Pope Leo XIV not only occupied the chair for appearances, but took decisive and bold actions right from the first days of his pontificate. In a brief speech of about 500 words, he outlined a clear vision to continue reforming the Catholic Church towards a synodal direction, expanding dialogue with all groups, including those without faith. He emphasized that the top priority was restoring full communion among Christian churches, while promoting peace both within and beyond the Church. Just days after his inauguration, Pope Leo XIV welcomed religious representatives from around the world and reaffirmed his commitment to interfaith dialogue. He did not hesitate to address sensitive issues such as the situation in Gaza, calling for humanitarian aid and an end to conflict. Furthermore, he continued Pope Francis's reform projects, especially enhancing the role of women in the Curia and building a model of a serving papacy rather than authoritarian rule. With a humble approach and deep spirit of dialogue, Leo XIV is sketching a new journey for the Catholic Church, one based on practical action, harmony, and love for all God's people. The concrete plans and actions of Pope Leo XIV from the start of his reign demonstrate a clear vision and determination to renew the Catholic Church. He did not stop at empty words, but quickly implemented many practical steps to promote profound reform and harmony within the Church. One of his highest priorities is restoring full communion among Christian churches, viewing this as the foundation for building unity and sustainable development. Pope Leo XIV also actively promotes interfaith dialogue with religious representatives worldwide. From Christianity, Judaism, Islam, to other faiths, aiming to foster mutual understanding and peace. He boldly addressed sensitive issues like the Gaza conflict, calling for humanitarian aid and an end to violence to protect the vulnerable. In addition, Leo XIV continues to inherit and develop Pope Francis's reform projects, notably elevating the role of women in the Curia, exemplified by appointing Sister T. Tanameti as Secretary General of the Dicastery for Institutes of Consecrated Life and Societies of Apostolic Life. He also emphasizes his role as a servant, rejecting authoritarian power to become a brother accompanying God's people. These concrete actions and plans have created a fresh vitality for the Church, helping Pope Leo XIV affirm his position as a decisive, humble, and humane leader ready to lead the Catholic Church into a new chapter of change and dialogue. His commitment to a synodal church expresses a deep determination to build a Catholic Church that is open, listening, and accompanying the faithful community. He asserts his intention to continue promoting the synodal spirit, a path initiated by Pope Francis, to create an environment where everyone participates in discernment and common decision-making, rather than concentrating power in one individual. Leo XIV does not shy away from the challenges of continuing this process, despite some voices in the College of Cardinals wanting to stop. He stresses that the Church needs to develop more concrete and sustainable forms of ecumenical relations, strengthening unity not only internally, but also with other religions. This commitment is demonstrated by his support for the Fraternity and Peace document, a historic agreement between the Vatican and the Islamic world, as well as maintaining important theological dialogue with the Jewish community. With humility and a spirit of dialogue, Pope Leo XIV is gradually building a truly synodal church, one where every voice is heard and unity is placed foremost, promising profound and sustainable renewal for the Catholic Church in the contemporary era. He has shown a fresh and deep approach in building relationships with other religions, affirming the importance of interfaith dialogue and harmony in the modern world. From the earliest days after taking office, he met representatives from major religions such as Orthodox Christianity, Protestantism, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, and Hinduism. Through these meetings, he did not merely exchange words but built friendly relationships, seeing them as companions in the pursuit of peace and mutual understanding. Pope Leo XIV continues Pope Francis's spirit of dialogue while creating his own mark with sincerity and humility. He is unafraid to address sensitive theological and social issues, such as the Gaza conflict or long-standing religious differences, always emphasizing the need to maintain dialogue to build trust and respect among communities. His openness and proactive approach to interfaith dialogue not only reduce tensions but also open hope for a more peaceful and united future for humanity. Pope Leo XIV is steadily shaping a Catholic Church ready to cooperate and live peacefully with other world religions. On May 19th, Pope Leo XIV had a historic meeting with the U.S. Vice President, marking the first time an American pope officially met with a senior U.S. government official at the Vatican. This meeting was not only diplomatic, but also showed the expansion of relations between the Vatican and the United States under the new pope. Notably, Cardinal Robert Vivos, now Pope Leo, had publicly criticized the harsh immigration policies of the Trump administration, showing a clear stance on humanity and justice. However, his meeting with the U.S. Vice President demonstrated his willingness to dialogue and build bridges despite previous differences. Although invited to visit the White House, Pope Leo XIV stated he would focus on his duties at the Vatican first and had no immediate plans to return to the U.S. This meeting signals his desire to maintain a positive cooperative relationship based on mutual understanding and respect between the Vatican and the U.S. government, contributing to promoting peace and justice worldwide. Pope Leo XIV quickly made a fresh and surprising mark at the Vatican with innovative and bold steps. Immediately after assuming office, he continued the reform tradition initiated by Pope Francis, but also created a distinct difference in approach and leadership. One notable move was appointing Sister T. Tana Meti, a canon law expert, as Secretary General of the Dicastery for Institutes of Consecrated Life and Societies of Apostolic Life, a significant position in the Vatican Curia. This is the first time a woman has held such a high post, demonstrating the Pope's commitment to empowering women and promoting diversity in leadership roles. Additionally, Pope Leo XIV reaffirmed his commitment to advancing the synodal spirit, while quietly returning to his old office at the Congregation for Bishops to celebrate Mass and meet with former colleagues, creating a close and intimate atmosphere. These steps not only revive the spirit of renewal, but also recall Pope Francis's nickname as the Pope of Surprises, showing that Pope Leo XIV not only continues, but deepens the path of reform of the Catholic Church. These practical and symbolic changes open a promising new chapter reflecting his vision of a humble, open, and dynamic church. From his inaugural sermon in St. Peter's Square, Pope Leo XIV marked an important turning point in Catholic theology. Instead of focusing solely on the long-standing tradition viewing St. Peter as the unique foundation of the Church, he emphasized that Christ himself is the cornerstone of faith. This view does not deny St. Peter's role, but opens the door for dialogue and cooperation with other Christian churches, such as Orthodox and Protestant communities, which remain cautious of papal supremacy. By referring to these denominations as sister Christian churches, Pope Leo XIV showed respect and equality, narrowing the traditional gap between Catholicism and other churches. Not stopping at words, the Pope delved into sensitive theological issues, citing church fathers and analyzing biblical texts to clarify that St. Peter's role can be understood in multiple ways, not necessarily identical with supreme authority. This approach aims to make the Church more approachable and connected with the broader Christian world. As a result, Pope Leo XIV has been praised globally as a man of dialogue, a brother to all Christians, and the first American pope to boldly open the path for theological renewal and reconciliation. He clearly identified his top priority as promoting full and visible communion among all who believe in the triune God. This is not merely symbolic, but a strong commitment to take concrete steps to build deeper unity among Christian churches. He is willing to overcome theological and organizational barriers so that faithful communities can share Eucharist, pray, and witness the faith in Christ collectively and practically. Pope Leo XIV does not see this as an empty slogan, but a clear action guideline. He places communion at the center of the modern Catholic Church's development, while demonstrating humility and deep dialogue spirit. Through this, he hopes to unite Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant, and other Christian communities into one united family of faith facing contemporary challenges together. This is a meaningful and pioneering step in building a more open and united church. Pope Leo XIV showed the spirit of interfaith dialogue from the very start of his reign. Shortly after his inauguration, he met representatives of many religions worldwide, including Catholicism, Orthodoxy, Protestantism, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, and Hinduism. In these meetings, he not only showed respect, but built friendly relationships as companions seeking peace and mutual understanding. His dialogue spirit is not merely formal, but genuine accompaniment, avoiding imposition or one-sided direction. He affirms his commitment to continue the interfaith dialogue path initiated by Pope Francis, but with a more open and sincere style. Particularly, he is unafraid to enter sensitive theological areas, expanding understanding and mutual respect among religions. This is an important step contributing to peace and unity in today's diverse world of faith. From the first days of his reign, Pope Leo XIV received positive global media responses, especially in the US. Articles called him the Pope of Dialogue, brother of all Christians, and the first American pope daring to make unprecedented steps at the Vatican. His friendliness and openness are reflected not only in words, but also concrete actions in daily life. A key highlight of his ecumenical spirit is a close 25-year friendship with a Lutheran pastor. This relationship is not only symbolic, but a vivid example of harmony and unity among different Christian churches. He does not talk about ecumenism as theory only, but truly lives and builds unity through concrete actions, creating the image of a humble, open Catholic Church ready for dialogue in the modern world. Pope Leo XIV began his reign with a fresh spirit and strong determination, creating a clear difference from previous popes. Not stopping at empty statements or superficial formality, he acts concretely and practically to build a more humble, open, and dynamic Catholic Church. Through these first steps, Leo XIV shows strong commitment to reform vision, dialogue, and Christian unity. He is unafraid to continue controversial projects while expanding relations with other religions based on sincere dialogue and respect. His humility and reform will have broad support from media and religious communities worldwide. As a result, Pope Leo XIV is gradually drawing a new journey for the Church based on love and deep faith in Christ. This journey is not only religiously meaningful, but also a testament to change appropriate for the modern world, promising much hope for the Church's future.